Good morning, and thank you all very much. My name is Pamela Henriksen, and I'm currently serving as the chair of the Board of Curators of the University of Missouri. Thank you all for joining us this morning to mark the start of a new era as we officially introduce the 24th president of the University of Missouri System. We've gathered today for this celebration in our state's capital, a location that befits our unique mission as Missouri's largest land-grant public higher education institution. It is the University of Missouri System and its 4 campuses that are specifically entrusted with serving the needs of all 6 million Missourians in our state's 114 counties. We've been doing it without interruption for almost 200 years. It is the University of Missouri System that leads the way in our state by providing Missouri's employers with tens of thousands of well-educated and highly skilled graduates every year, as well as groundbreaking research that saves lives, pushes back the frontiers of science, and solves everyday problems. The University of Missouri System is the economic engine that powers our state's growing economy, a comprehensive healthcare system that improves the quality of life for all, and outreach services that our citizens and communities in every part of the state depend on to enhance their productivity and the quality of their lives. Given these attributes of our state's great public land-grant research university, it's only fitting that we should gather here in our state's capital city to celebrate a new beginning, a new milestone for our university and for our state. Before we introduce our new president, first of all, let me acknowledge another very special person, Interim President Michael Middleton. Mike, you stepped up to accept a very important task as interim president at exactly the time when your university needed you most. You led this university through some of its most historic and challenging moments and had an encouraging way of reminding some of its greatest supporters that what it is that makes the University of Missouri System so special. You did so with uncommon grace and unparalleled devotion to the institution that you love. On behalf of the board, I want to thank you, as well as your wife, Dr. Julie Middleton, seated over here, for devoting so much of both of your professional lives to the University of Missouri. Your contributions and lifelong dedication will always be remembered, and we owe you both our deepest gratitude. As I mentioned, the University of Missouri System is a great institution, and we see that demonstrated every day as we fulfill our missions of teaching, research, service, and economic development. Great institutions, as we know, require great leadership. Great leaders couple their vision for the future with a healthy understanding and appreciation for the lessons of history. The challenge of leading a great American university requires an individual who can maintain a thoughtful perspective about where we've been, while doing some oversized thinking about where we need to be going. A strong and successful leader of the University of Missouri System will be its greatest advocate and champion. The leader will be charged to preserve one of the state's most important assets with all of its value, its complexity, its diversity, and its daily impact on the lives of all of its citizens. While it's easy to talk about leadership, finding a great leader isn't that easy. But I'm here to tell you today that I am confident that the Board of Curators has done just that. We've been at this national search for quite some time, and we've been fortunate to have a phenomenal presidential search committee led by co-chairs Cheryl Walker and Jim Whitaker. This is an extraordinary panel of men and women who represented the diverse interests of the university in interviewing candidates for the presidency, freely giving much of their time over the past year to this effort. Would the members of the search committee please stand to be recognized? Together with the search committee, we've traveled many miles, held numerous meetings, and taken input from scores of Missourians. Thank you to our University of Missouri System family, including students, alumni, friends, faculty, and staff for your patience, your advice, and your support as the board worked through its diligent search process. The path eventually led to opportunities for us to interact with some exceptionally talented candidates from all across the country. But in the end, the Board of Curators was able to identify that next great leader. So today, I am privileged to announce that Dr. Moon Choi has been appointed as the next president of the University of Missouri System. Dr. Choi is joined today at this momentous occasion by his wife, Suzanne, and his mother, Kathleen. Welcome to Missouri, all of you. We will hear from Dr. Choi in a minute, but as chair of the Board of Curators, I want to tell you some of the impressive qualities Moon brings to his new job. Moon has devoted his entire career to public higher education. Since 2012, he has served as the provost and executive vice president at the University of Connecticut, which is, like us, a public land-grant institution of higher education. I might add that UConn also enjoys the stature that comes from being ranked in the top 20 of public universities in the United States. Dr. Choi is known as a person of immense energy and passion, integrity and innovation, whose primary strengths include his vision, strategy, and ability to set the direction of change and innovation. He not only comes up with bold ideas, he knows how to translate those into action by assembling a talented team and directing them to achieve results. That is the definition of leadership. For example, just 6 months into his leadership tenure while at UConn, Moon was the initiator of a bold idea called the Next Generation Connecticut Initiative. He worked closely with the university's leadership, its trustees, the governor of the state of Connecticut, and members of the Connecticut legislature to develop and implement the framework for the $1.5 billion program, which is increasing research expenditures and creating industry partnerships to create high-paying jobs in the state. He was instrumental in helping move the project forward, holding forums throughout the state and testifying before the legislative panels to garner the necessary support from state and community leaders and industry partners. That is decisive leadership. As it is when he spearheaded an $18 million plan last year to strengthen research, teaching effectiveness, and public engagement at UConn. Or how he helped launch a $172 million industry partnership program to enhance research and training programs. He kicked off the program, which to date has already formed partnerships valued at $85 million with such leading companies as Pratt & Whitney, General Electric, and Comcast. Once again, examples of strong leadership. Dr. Choi is an excellent communicator. He's equally comfortable and effective interacting with the diverse constituencies that comprise a university community, faculty, staff, students, alumni, legislators, donors, and friends. He has been shaped by education and experience to be the leader of a complex university system. His sterling academic credentials as teacher and researcher in mechanical and aerospace engineering, and later as Dean of Engineering at UConn, have prepared him to appreciate and understand the challenges facing our university. He is committed to the values of diversity and inclusion and practiced it while at UConn, as student diversity increased steadily under his watch. As one of his colleagues at UConn stated, in some ways, he is the American success story and has always been destined to be a university president. I couldn't agree more. My colleagues and I on the Board of Curators believe that we have found a superb leader in Dr. Moon Choi, and we pledge our strong support to help him lead the University of Missouri System to even greater heights in this 21st century. And now, it is my very great pleasure to present to you the next president of the University of Missouri System. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Moon Choi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, Board Chair Henriksen, thank you very much for those warm remarks. I am so excited to be in Missouri, and I'm honored and humbled to serve as the 24th president of this terrific university system. I want to begin by thanking the Board of Curators. Your leadership and vision have transformed the university system that made an important impact for the citizens of Missouri. I also appreciate the confidence that you've placed in me. To the members of the search committee, I want to thank you for your thoughtful deliberation during a very rigorous process. And also, to all of you for welcoming me to Jefferson City and to this great state of Missouri. Thank you. It's wonderful to have faculty and students and staff represented as part of this group, and I'm very happy to meet all of you. Last but not least, but I have to say this over again, a special appreciation for President Mike Middleton and the senior leadership team that has moved the institution forward during the past year. I really appreciate their contributions for the institution and for the citizens of Missouri. Thank you. Now, I'm very excited about because this is one of the finest public research university systems in the country. With a deep commitment to high-quality education, innovative research, and meaningful engagement, the system is recognized for its excellence. With world-class faculty, gifted and diverse students, talented leaders, and key investments, there are so many things to be proud of at And it's also very fitting, as the board chair mentioned, that we're having this event in Jefferson City. For this institution was built with the hard work and the dedication and support from the citizens of Missouri. So I can't think of a better place for us to reaffirm our commitment to the land-grant mission of this university system. And that commitment, as we'll get to find out more and more as I engage all of you, begins with setting very high standards of excellence. As president, I'll work with the curators, the chancellors, and the senior leadership team, and all of the stakeholders to shape the compelling reasons why talented and diverse students will select for their education, why world-class faculty members will begin and continue their careers here at and for government, donors, and corporations to continue to make investment in this great system. The major component of these plans will require investment that comes through many different ways, specifically in programs that provide access, affordability, and outcome. In a community of scholars through targeted key cluster hiring, and new and renovated facilities and equipment for faculty members from philosophy to dramatic arts to engineering and sciences to be nationally competitive. And also in grand challenge ideas that cut across the contributions that can be made by our faculty and students across the 4 campuses. But as important as all of those contributions and investments will be, it'll be to create an environment that is welcoming and inclusive and collegial and respectful. The transformation will require resources through careful allocation of existing funds, but also new funding opportunities from both state and federal government, and philanthropy and corporate partnerships. Moving forward, we will develop new programs with all of you by engaging you to increase student success, by examining ways that we can increase retention, graduation rates, as well as student outcomes. Increase extramural research, but also never forgetting the support for intellectual endeavors of our faculty and students to better understand our contributions to the human condition, and also increase workforce development for next generation high-paying jobs, collaborating with industries, both large and small, in Missouri and beyond, and to serve as a catalyst, working with the state for economic development for the state of Missouri. At the system, we have all of the necessary ingredients to make this possible. So I look forward to working with all of you to realize these very important goals. Also, I'm very committed to the land-grant mission of the University of Missouri system. Coming from a land grant in Connecticut and having graduated from one just across the river, I understand and appreciate all of your aspirations to provide opportunities through education to the sons and daughters of toil. Therefore, high quality, affordable education will be a key emphasis. As president, I will engage our diverse stakeholders and work collaboratively to make this great system even stronger. For example, I plan to meet all of the elected officials to help shape a shared vision of what a top public research university system can represent. We'd also work closely with the business community to help us grow not only the R&D partnerships, but also the pipeline of jobs that can be available for the career development of our students, from undergraduate to the doctoral level. And I also want to say that the voices of faculty, students, and staff, the true heart and soul of the institution, matter greatly to me. I will be meeting, but more importantly, listening to their perspectives, their history, and the programs that mean a great deal to them. And all of these vital partners will help shape the vision for the University of Missouri system that will create prosperity for the state of Missouri. But I also recognize that there are many challenges ahead on the horizon for public higher education. And I also recognize the significant responsibility and accountability for leading a university system. But together, and with a deep sense of commitment, we'll provide a clear articulation of our plan and implementation that involves all of the stakeholders. We'll develop transparency and credibility. We'll also follow through on commitments and always focusing on excellence. So I look forward to working with all of you. Once again, I am honored and humbled to lead this terrific institution, and look forward to working with all of you to realize a collective vision for the University of Missouri system. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll now take a minute to have President Choi then answer questions from the assembled group here. That includes everybody, media, and just interested folks who are with us. I remind our members of the working media that when we're done from the podium, you'll be escorted to the Carnegie Room for a longer media availability. But for now, we'll turn it over to President Choi and any questions anybody has for the new president. Don't be shy.
Yes. Could you use a microphone, please? Right here. And if you can introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Marshall Griffin. I'm from St. Louis Public Radio. My first question is, some of the lawmakers here in Missouri have had recently a rather contentious relationship with higher education officials. They tried to deeply cut funding last year. It's a two-part question. First, what type of relationship did you have with Connecticut's lawmakers, and have you met any of Missouri's yet? And how do you plan to, I guess, bridge a better relationship than what has existed?
Thank you for that question. My experience in working with elected officials in Connecticut has been one of collaboration and collegiality. And I also recognize that elected officials are tremendous stewards of public resources. and they try to do the best for the citizens of the state. And I'm confident that through my interaction, I can share with the legislators in Missouri my commitment to see positive outcomes in creating that wonderful university system that's known for research, known for high quality education, and engagement with the 114 counties in the state will be critical. But the first thing I have to do is to listen to their point of view, and also to find out how we can come to common grounds when it comes to supporting higher education. My job as assistant president is to advocate for resources that are needed to continue the rise of the UM system to become one of the top flagship research institutions in the country. So I look forward to meeting them, and I'll be back frequently between now and my start date to have those conversations with the legislators.
Hi, Summer Ballantyne with the Associated Press. I was wondering if you've read the demands from Concerned Student 1950, and if so, what the university should be doing to address those.
Yes, I did. I read those demands when those demands were happening October of last year, and let me just first say that as the system president, I wholly believe in everyone's responsibility in creating an inclusive, collegial, and welcoming environment. That's critical. And I ask myself, what can I do? What can I do that I can share my examples of my activities that can create that kind of environment? But it's also very important for all of us to open that line of dialogue with students, with faculty, with staff members, so that we can avoid dramatic action, so that they don't feel, they meaning any group of students or faculty members, that their voices are not heard. So it's going to be a very welcoming environment where I get to listen and learn about the concerns. Because I do believe, in having read the articles about the concerned citizens of 1950, that they care about the university like we all do. Students care about this university. So how can we come to a common understanding to provide effective solutions? There are no easy fixes. But working with Kevin McDonald, as well as all of the chancellors and the senior leadership, and with that culture of inclusiveness that transcends all of our students and faculty and staff, will be a key important step. So I look forward to that. Question from a student. There's a student out there. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.